Rebuild of the favorites. We here for the latest. South side or the north side. Not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams. Both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball. But we don't put the wrong strings. Yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or guarantee, so the whole league that we here now. New show with a new mood. Discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife.
Whew. That is a nasty timeline. Just read that again. We're going to talk about that in a second. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, March 21st, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zwoski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe. With me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
Now, I'm not saying that I want MLB to take down Shohei Ohtani, but at the same time, what a shame it would be if Shohei Ohtani, played less than a season for the Los Angeles Dodgers and then was banned from baseball. What a shame that would be.
Fids is out filling in for something for a conference or something. I can't follow Fids. He's probably like smoking a joint with Snoop Dogg or some shit at this point. But
he's with Ohtani's interpreter in Vegas.
He's going for Sixth Man of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, King of Wrigley, SM Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Look, I think it's funny that everybody's all up in arms on Twitter, whether it was Shohei or if it was his interpreter of who was doing the gambling, because acting like tomorrow nobody's just going to put their mortgage up for grabs, So
right.
It's great timing for DraftKings and FanDuels and everybody who does that. So happy for them, but also happy to be filling in for K-Fids. Hello, everybody.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk about that in a second. So yeah, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about this Ohtani news because this is some wild ass shit. There's a lot of ways to look at this. We're going to talk about pitching rotations for both sides of town, and then we're going to get into what our expectations are for the upcoming year as a fan. Like, how are we going into this year? Are we ready to get hurt again? Where are we at with this shit? So all that and then some. Let's tap this fucking keg. As always, this show is brought to you by Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. Make sure you download the app, turn on push notifications, and be the first to know what Caleb Williams had for breakfast this morning. Sports Mockery, sportsmockery.com. And it's also brought to you by Uncle Bud's, 9700 South Cicero. For you old heads, it's where TCs used to be. There's something going on every night of the week. Karaoke, trivia, what else is there? Bingo, great food, good drinks. The taps are always changing. They always got something new over there. Uncle Bud's. And you could also, my boy Senor in the comments just reminded me, DoorDash that shit. The food is that good that it's worth DoorDashing. Uncle
so
Bud's,
I need to join you down there sometime.
Absolutely, man. I'm becoming there more and more frequent there. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, Uncle Bud's, 9700 South Cicero. So first and foremost, huge fan of this trend of people dumping news out, big news, on Wednesday night around 7 p.m.
Yeah,
keep
right
that shit up. Keep that shit up. Please keep that up because it rolls right into us, man. So the news that dropped here is Shohei Ohtani. Some of you guys may have heard of him.
Good at baseball.
Decent at baseball. Signed a decent-sized contract. Big news. He's had the same interpreter for as long as I can remember. Dude's got a bad haircut. I remember the dude. He's got like the power V with the like long, like flat hair out, like going on. Probably one of the most cushiest jobs in the world. Your job is just to follow around arguably the best player of a generation and just make sure he doesn't say some stupid shit or people don't say stupid shit to him.
And if he does say stupid shit, like fix it for him.
Fix it for him. 100% yes. And it's a cushy ass job. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but he gets to travel the country, travel the world, probably eats 5-star restaurants, fit style everywhere, stay in the nicest hotels, go to cool ass parties. Like, it's got life by the balls, man. It's almost better than being a bullpen catcher. Like, he's just living it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna butcher his name like I always do.
I refuse to try.
Ippy? IPPEI.
I
We'll
go
call him,
Ippy.
we'll call it Ippy.
IPA.
I feel like it's super disrespectful to just keep mispronouncing his name. We'll just call him Interpreter. So Interpreter, like most of us, likes to make some wagers. And I mean, he without sin cast the first stone. So no judgment here, Interpreter. No judgment here. But the big difference between Interpreter and my stupid ass is Interpreter is in that locker room. Interpreter is at every game. Interpreter gets inside info. Interpreter knows if Mookie Betts is a little sore when everyone else doesn't know. Interpreter
So
knows all
I need
this.
you to go over Dallas Braden's timeline.
So and then
and
Dallas
I have something to
Braden
add.
drops this timeline on us. And David from Naples, what's up? Love Naples, Florida. Night golf there is really cool. We're going to get to the White Sox rotation in just a minute, but we got to talk about this Ohtani stuff. So here's the timeline. This is crazy. This does not look good for your boy Shohei. So Ohtani rep goes on record with ESPN stating Ohtani transferred $4.5 million himself to the bookmaker on behalf of Interpreter. The spokesman for Ohtani then delivers Interpreter to ESPN for a statement. Interpreter says Ohtani never bet and felt bad for him and paid off his debt, so he'd never do it again. So at this point, you're thinking, okay, Ohtani, good guy, taking care of his boy, gotten a $4.5 million hole. He's got the loot, so he got his boy out of here. But this is where it gets weird. Then a spokesman for Ohtani says Interpreter is lying after he gives his 90-minute statement to ESPN. Ohtani's lawyers then claim massive theft. Interpreter then says Ohtani had zero knowledge of his debt or his gambling habit in general. So it went from a good guy Ohtani taking care of his boy to actually, you know what? He had no idea about any of this shit. I stole this shit.
Go to Talking Baseball's Twitter account.
Oh boy.
And while you're doing that, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Talk to somebody. We don't want you in the same position. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Option 2, slide into the DMs, transfer over the bankroll, and we'll try to get you even. We'll pull in Ohtani for you.
That also.
Okay, and then if you go to Talking Baseballs, they have video of Shohei and his interpreter interacting just before the final out of this morning game. Starts out with a laugh. Ohtani kind of whispers something to him. He's nodding. There's a lot of nodding going on here. He's covering his mouth, doing that thing where you talk like when you talk like this, so no, the cameras can't read your lips.
Seems very chubby for a guy who just found out his
stole $4.5 million
stole from him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
wait, I'm watching this now too. What?
Yeah. Doesn't seem like a guy you're about to fire, Shohei.
Well, let's back this up just a smidge. So we're going into the free agency period.
Get that shared up on the screen.
all right, I got you.
So we go into the free agency period expecting it to be the craziest, greatest free agency period of all time with people pursuing this guy. We're watching airplanes he's not on. We're wondering what the hell his dog's name is. Then he gets signed by the Dodgers, but he doesn't get paid nearly anything, but it's all after he plays that he's getting paid. So everything's all weird already. And now we get this. Oh, and we didn't know that he was married, and now he's married, and apparently she's a Japanese basketball player. Like, what the?
Yeah, she could ball out, dude. I was watching those videos. She got a jet.
Yeah. Shout out to her.
So the video that you're going to see, and again, if you're listening to us, you should be watching us live on Wednesday night and getting in the comment section. But the video you're about to see is before the last out of the game in Seoul versus who did the fuck they play?
The Padres.
The Padres. Keep in mind, the guy that Ohtani's about to talk to right now stole allegedly, gotta start throwing that word out there. Don't want to get that letter in the mail. Allegedly stole $4.5 million from Ohtani.
Okay, we're walking.
It's just like, what's up, boy? You steal $4.5 million? You still got that jacked ass haircut? Yeah, I do.
Good laugh.
Hey, you hit over 4.5 runs for us, right? Yep. All right, cool.
Hey, can you take this one? I hit the under.
You know, for a guy that, well, never mind. It makes sense that he doesn't have any money because he can't get a good haircut. So it makes sense.
Yep.
Holy hell,
mean,
dude.
So I barely saw that. I was reading up on the updates. I've seen the Jeff Pass and ESPN story, the original report, but I barely saw that video right when you started reading the summaries. Though, and again, that's the big question. And again, maybe the timeline's off because I don't think we know exactly when the ESPN 90-minute interview happened. If it was
Mhm.
Tuesday night in Korea or Wednesday night, but it was Wednesday
Yeah,
morning in the United
it
States.
gets all
So maybe the
screwy.
timelines are off, but what we just saw there, that doesn't seem like a guy who's pissed off because he just
Doesn't
got
seem like
$4.5
anything
million
happened, yeah.
stolen from him.
So don't get me wrong. I know we all know Ohtani is pretty much a happy-go-lucky guy.
Allegedly.
I don't care how happy-go-lucky you are. If someone stole $4.5 million from you, like,
Well, he's acting like the guy like made him like fall on the kitchen floor, and then Urkel's like, "Did I do that?" Like that's
Right.
what this looks like, and that's a lot of money. Well, to me, me personally, I'm not in that tax bracket. I can say that
No.
feels like a lot of money.
I think we could combine all of our salaries and everyone in the comment sections, and we're still not in that tax bracket.
And like the bigger
Well-
thing is how Ohtani had the switch up.
Yeah.
His camp initially was like, yeah, I know we found out he's had a whole bunch of debt.
Yeah. He's taking care of his
I
boy.
sent the money to bail out my bud.
Yep.
Guy does an interview, 1.5 hours, 90 minutes.
Mhm.
What did he say during that interview? The camp is all of a sudden, whoa, wait, no.
He stole
Fuck
that
this
shit.
guy. He stole from us. He stole from like what?
Yeah.
That's
And
pretty shit. And Tommy, you mentioned it earlier. Who's like the most private superstar in the world right now?
Yeah,
It's Shohei
yeah.
Ohtani.
Well, here's the other thing
That's
too.
it.
This is a fun component because in Shohei's contract, it says if the Dodgers fire anybody, including his interpreter, he can opt out of the contract at any time. So is there any smaller print in that saying if he has a gambling addiction, then this is null and void? Or can he literally leave the Dodgers if he wanted to and start over again? If somebody wanted him at that point, I would take him. Hand up, I'll take him. Shohei, you want to come to Chicago? By all means.
I mean, yeah, we have the DraftKings Sportsbook right outside of Wrigley.
Hey,
Yep,
we have our
first super chat of the day. Thank you very much, Drew. He says, "Quote of the pod: Did I do that? Cheers, gents."
By the way, I do want to say I am being a little facetious here. This gambling stuff. If this guy, because again, I mean, it would be very stupid of Shohei Ohtani to start racking up. I thought the funniest tweet I think I've seen from this was like, "Wow, he really is Michael Jordan."
Yeah, that was.
But
good.
so I'm being a little facetious. I just want to see the Dodgers crumble, but that interpreter had to have been like so pissed off when he saw all the deferrals. He's like, "Man, you're only getting $2 million cash flow this year. What the hell?
I need that.
So
I was banking on an extra
it's gonna take me
here.
It's gonna take me 2.5 years to get out of this debt."
Here's what I think happened. I think they were gonna go with the good guy Ohtani story, like taking care of his boy. For some reason, either they didn't tell his boy that was the story they were going with, or he wasn't about that life. And he did an interview with ESPN, and the entire time he was with ESPN, he probably was just saying Ohtani didn't know anything about my debt. He didn't know anything about it. Like because he thought he was doing the right thing by not snitching on his boy and not bringing his boy into this. And then someone from ESPN called Ohtani's camp, was like, "Yo, this is what he's saying." And Ohtani's camp's like, "Yep, he stole that shit. We didn't know nothing about it. We know nothing."
I think it's Ohtani's camp goes. They have the original statement. They're like, "Yeah, we went out, covered his debt. He's trying to be the good guy, right? He's the good guy friend. He's my friend here. It's sucky. We're gonna give him into like what is it? Gamblers Anonymous or something. He's gonna get help. We're gonna
Gambler.com.
Ohtani's interpreter does the interview, and during that interview, did he be like, "Yeah, no, Ohtani's known. I've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
He he knows what it is. It just got to a point where we got too crazy, and that's where he stepped in. Ohtani's camp goes, whoa, no, we've never heard of this. Fuck you, you stole from us.
You know, he interpreted wrong. You know,
Yeah, man.
he didn't read the words right.
Yeah, he interpreted
Honest
that
mistake.
shit
It always happens.
Very
You know?
much a case where like maybe the interpreter said a little something too much, where maybe Ohtani never actually did anything wrong, but if it could have made him look like, oh, he knew all along.
Yeah.
And it's like MLB doesn't want that, obviously, with their like number one superstar in the world, like talking about all-time great here. Like we know all the shit with Pete Rose. Like they don't want that. They don't want their fucking
No.
number one superstar
Well,
to be
Manfred-
anywhere associated with anything sketchy with gambling.
Hello. Manfred was in the house this morning / this
Yep.
afternoon, whatever the hell it was. What if he was over there trying to figure out how to put this thing to bed? And he
He wants
screwed
to-
it up.
No,
Someone want
it's like, hey, Shohei, you knew nothing. You knew nothing, buddy. You go back out there and you tell him this guy stole from you.
yeah.
We don't
knew-
want you anywhere near gambling.
Yeah, you knew nothing, dude. Like you need to stop. But that's why I didn't know that thing about the interpreter being fired in the contract. That's interesting because now the Dodgers are probably like, no, you say he stole that shit because then we could fire with cause and it doesn't fuck up your contract.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know if with cause is in there because it was
it's gotta
any.
be. It
It was
gotta
with
be.
like any personnel. It was like if they get rid of Dave Roberts, then he can leave.
It's
I think
no,
wasn't it the big two?
but
Just
with
like the
cause like theft,
president of the
a
Dodgers
fucking
and-
felony. Yeah,
I don't know, man. It seemed like the Dodgers would put anything on paper to get the guy. So,
But that's the other
I
thing.
don't know.
Shohei doesn't want to leave the Dodgers. Like he
No,
specifically
no.
was like,
Yeah,
using
he's
other
not
teams to give him that contract.
yeah, he wants to be on a winning team, and he didn't want to leave. He was always going to the Dodgers, like all this drama and stuff. Which, by the way, I do want to point out that. Do you remember the? I'm sorry, I just read Fid's stupid quote about my 60-degree wedge. Shut up, Fids. Do you remember when all this free agency was happening in Toronto? They were tracking planes that didn't like he wasn't even on and stuff, and they were freaking out. And then I saw a couple of them when they found out that Shohei got married and everybody was freaking out about his wife and stuff. And they were like, "Oh, I can't believe they're freaking out about that." I'm like, "You were watching a plane he wasn't even on." He's like he was never leaving LA. He always was going to be with the Dodgers. And I was trying my best to bring him to Chicago, but it was never going to happen.
right. And it's just, oh,
This
don't
is like, man, this is not going to go anyway soon. Though.
no,
I hope
because
this hangs over the Dodgers for the next 10 years. There's just questions every single year.
yeah, I mean, unless they find like some like I don't even know if you could find like evidence. You can't like prove that he never knew about this. Like, there's no way you can
Text
prove
messages. MLB can be like, Shohei, hand over the phones, buddy.
that. Well, no, MLB doesn't want him to be guilty.
He'll be like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't have an interpreter anymore.
Yeah,
Or I don't
No,
know who handles this stuff in the United States. What part of the government? Who? The SEC?
Federal Gaming Commission.
The
I don't
federal-
know,
Yeah, I don't know.
but
Pete Rose, I think he handles everything.
no. Well,
Lenny Dykstra?
I'm saying baseball doesn't want him to know anything. So baseball doesn't want his phone. Baseball
Oh, yeah.
wants this.
Yeah.
See,
there's no way-
Congress stepped in with steroids. They step in with
Yeah,
just
number
do the
one
Sammy
player,
Sosa
Morgan
route.
Campbell.
And
Just do the
in all
Sammy
honesty,
Sosa route.
where Congress does come in is if it gets tied to him fixing shit.
Like that's the thing, because like
that's when Congress
any
comes in, dude.
inside
Like,
info,
that's-
you're like you said, so how you start.
Yeah.
He's the interpreter. He's knows more stuff than the general public.
Yep.
That's
He knows
can't
that
do
Freddie
that.
Freeman's rocking a blister on his hand so he can't grip the bat all the way. He knows he knows all this crazy shit that none of us would ever know.
We
And-
we definitely have not seen the end of this.
Oh,
This
God,
is
no.
something that's gonna last.
This is gonna be probably more annoying than Inflategate.
So I think it was last year, maybe
Maybe.
a couple years ago, you tweeted out a question. It was like, if you can make up a lineup or a team of like of all your guys in Major League Baseball or MLB baseball, And I remember answering. I don't really like guys after they're with the
Mhm.
Cubs, but as the Cubs were struggling from like 2021, 2022, they weren't that good. Shohei Ohtani for me was a guy who was like, man, you really get to appreciate a true unicorn in a sport, right? So he's like been the closest guy that's been like he's never played on my team, not even the same league. So I guess that helps because like Cubs were like never really competing against the Angels. So Ohtani was as close as being your guy, and like, duh, he's number one player in the
Right.
sport. The Dodgers signing him,
Ruined it.
I mean, again, I'm not rooting for his downfall, but if something atrocious, not like injury wise, but if some other stuff comes up, I wouldn't be mad.
I'll admit, I'm with you. Going to the Dodgers was so lame.
Like the
It was like-
Dodgers, even though they haven't
Yeah.
won, like they won 2020, but like the Cubs have won
Mickey
more
Mouse.
actual
Mickey
real
Mouse.
World Series than they have since I've been born. But like they are the new Yankees. They're the new team that spends the money. And again, we can go over buying championships. I want my teams to spend. That's a good thing, but it's still good to hate teams because it's one of the good things. It's good to hate teams.
Yeah, it's healthy. It's healthy to find something to hate.
That's what makes us live. It's the hatred inside of us.
Absolute A+ tweet right here. Shohei Ohtani's dog's name is actually Parlay.
That's why he didn't want us to know.
That's good shit. But this is wild stuff. This is going to be around for.
Long
Like
time.
I said, I don't think this is going away anytime soon.
No, I'm telling you, I want it to stick around. I don't care if it's annoying. Give me it. Give me like a snippet every day. I want Mookie Betts locker room answering questions about. Oh, by the way, Ohtani goes to a team with a guy named Betts. I mean, come on. I want questions every day. I want the Dodgers not focused on the field. I want them to get to October and like I want all the screenshots with Ohtani and like DraftKings or whatever gambling sports book sponsors the Dodgers.
This is why this is becoming more comical than anything. Is Ben Verlander, known douchebag, tweeted out something like how disrespectful this is to the game and like how all this. Within 3 tweets, he was tweeting out his DraftKings bet of the day. And it's just like, you got to be fucking kidding. Like, you got to be able to see that, dude. Like,
read the room, brother.
Like,
read the room.
You walked right into this. And all of these sites that are going to like say how bad this is and how Ohtani is bad for this, and they all have sponsorships with gambling websites.
No, that's one of the first tweets I saw too. Was like in quotes, like podcasters saying, "Oh, Ohtani, this is terrible for the game." And now you can get $200 with our code at DraftKings.
I just had get 200 with our code.
I just had a tweet come across my timeline.
Ohtani parlay.
I just put in our chat if you want to take a look at it. But while you're looking at it again, I just want to say, if you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. I feel like that's important to say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I just saw the.
Can we put that up?
I can't get it up on the screen. It is funny. The hypocrisy of it all is going to be great. Like here's 1,000 words on why this is bad for the game from blah blah blah.com.
Yeah, now that ESPN has their own sports book, they're gonna have to maneuver around this a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm gonna be reading that story, and then the targeted ad on top for me is gonna be a DraftKings or something like that. Sam, you have no idea. Believe me, brother. So like, yeah, man, this is gonna be funny. I think it's gonna be really funny. And for the record, I really don't give a shit. Like, personal opinion on this, like, can't say I would have done the same thing.
As long as he wasn't doing anything to fix his own stuff, then
yeah, I mean, as long as he like Ohtani wasn't betting the under on 2.5 hits and going up there and like purposely taking pitches to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't know, like gambling is such a big part of everything now, and we knew that this was going to come to a head at some point. I just thought, like, if a baseball player wants to bet on a football game, like, I think that could, exactly. Who cares? I know that they can't be like, if they play in a baseball game, like if they're betting on a baseball game that they're not a part of, that might get a little muddy in the waters because they may know something about something, that the average person doesn't. I don't know. It's just like, it's gambling, and whoever made it legal brought it into the world. So it's their problem to fix, right?
I mean, yeah, they opened the door a little bit. No, it's literally everywhere. It's funny as we say this. Dan Lebatard did a whole rant, and people are already retweeting a tweet from 2021 of him right after they signed their deal with DraftKings, talking about how he loves gambling and his gambling hot streak. No one's safe from this. No one. If you're gonna talk shit about Ohtani and this situation, it's not gonna be good for you because you either work for a company.
I might be the worst gambler of all time, which is why I will not be gambling during the NCAA tournament this year. So shout out me, 1-800-GAMBLER.
So
I've only bet on this college basketball season. I've bet on 2 games. First game, UConn when they got blown out against Creighton. Hilarious. Lost by like fucking 20. Second game, I thought Houston was going to beat Iowa State. They scored like 2 points in the second half.
Yeah.
So cool.
I've been on such a cold streak on anything that I do. Like, I've just lost interest. I've just been so zoned in on baseball, and like I'm just waiting for that to come around.
I haven't even filled out a bracket yet, which is uncharacteristic of me. I did not pay any attention to college.
It's just like this past year is just like I haven't cared as much as I normally do, but I will root on my Spartans tomorrow.
Yep. Same.
These Ohtani tweets are getting pretty funny.
Yeah, it's getting good. It's getting good. Shout out Drew. He just put one in my DMs. That's pretty funny.
This dude just tweeted out. The caption is Pete Rose realizing all he needed was an interpreter to blame on, and he'd be in the Hall of Fame. And it's that gif of Drake looking at the computer like, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I mean, the Twitter is phenomenal right now with this.
What happened if there's one hint of evidence that like Ohtani
something's gonna happen.
Like Ohtani pass along some info.
Oh, Pete Rose is going to be watching very carefully of what they're going to do. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, big time, without a
Who
doubt.
knows? Maybe in like 20 years, we'll be able to like go to any street corner in Vegas and have Shohei signing autographs for $5 a piece.
Shohei's going to be playing with the Savannah Bananas.
Also, his interpreter might be a good contestant for This Guy Looks Like.
I feel like that might get real racist.
That might get
Okay, I never thought of it that way, but I get it, and we can move on. If you have a problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, I think that could get I can go south fast.
Shout out Shohei. Always making headlines. Can't blame him. What a star.
Good
That's
for
the star's
him, dude.
view. Like no one's gonna care if that was Tim Hill's trainer.
No.
Tim Hill's trainer is probably a bookie. Like that's
Tim Hill's trainer works at 7-Eleven.
Okay, who is a major league player that this could happen to without the interpreter, like just him, and like it wouldn't be that big of a deal?
It wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah,
Pretty much 99% of the Chicago White Sox.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of like 26 men on the A's.
I mean, yeah, anyone in Oakland. They're probably.
I have a question. What if it happened like after the fact? Like, what if we learned about it like years and years later? Then what would happen? Would he just be out of the Hall of Fame and that's just it, or what?
Probably. I mean, what are they? They can't really do anything about it. I mean, I wonder. Depending on how far it is, like with all his money deferred, like can they cut that hose off?
No, see what MLB should do right now is they need to stand up for some values, any values that they have.
They don't.
Shohei Ohtani, go through a in-depth investigation. Don't put a timeline on it. Take your time, actually. At the same time, make the $70 million per year on his deal actually go towards the luxury tax payroll for the Dodgers, have that counted against them, but he can't play for, I don't know, let's call it at least 4 years. I think that would be the fair thing to do.
4 years.
At least take your time.
I'd
This
say
is a
at
very
least-
serious allegation.
I'd say at least through the first weekend of April.
I am trying so hard not to laugh
Oh
loudly.
no. Oh no.
That's
Oh,
just
no.
unreal. Twitter is on fire right now. This
That's
might
the thing,
be
though.
like
We're in the funny stage. There can't
Yeah.
be any ties at like once anything, and it's like, oh shit, Ohtani. It's like, oh fuck, because like we've seen the suspensions in NFL with like Calvin Ridley. I think there was like that one year there was like 5 or 6 suspensions, weren't there? Like a couple from the Colts, I think. Guys were gambling. There was that player. Wasn't there like a college football player that got like in so much debt?
yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
there've been multiple.
The
And
Michael
it's like-
Jordan shit's hilarious.
If you get to the highest level here in a sport, like what does that do to the future? Like there's so much in bed right now. It's like, oh, obviously, yeah, nothing's gonna happen. But if you have your superstar player caught up in this, yeah,
It's a tough look, man. It's tough
very
because
tough.
It's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing.
so. All right, let's move on because I
Let's
feel
move
like we can.
Actually, this was to me. This was the most. Forget about Shohei Ohtani betting like the underline in the first 5 innings. Garrett Crochet is the White Sox opening day starter. What?
Yeah, hold on, real quick. The Dodgers just released an official statement. The Dodgers are aware of media reports and are gathering information. The team cannot confirm that interpreter, whatever his name is, has been terminated. The team can confirm that they fired the interpreter. The team has no further comment at this time.
Well,
There
we
you
have
go.
plenty of comments. Lucky for them.
So, yeah, just as we all predicted, Garrett Crochet is your White Sox opening day starter. I mean, Cease is dealt to San Diego. Good for him. Kopech gets moved to the bullpen, like I've been saying he should since he got to the White Sox. That's on record. It goes all the way back to when Herb Lawrence hosted Locked On White Sox shows. I said it on his show years ago.
Zono's ball.
Zono's ball. The White Sox have released their opening rotation, and it goes Garrett Crochet, Soroka, Fetty Huap, Flexen, and Nestrini. Just like we all had penciled in.
Good for Nastrini though. I like that they're giving the young guys
Yeah.
a shot.
And you know what? Tom and I were talking before we went live. Soroka's looked fucking good this spring, dude. He had another good outing today. He's looked really locked in. He's not walking guys. I'm not going to get we'll talk about expectations later.
I was
but
going to tell. I'm
just
going to say
saying.
what I'm going to say about him later.
Yeah.
That's
But here's I got 2 things. So I have officially trademarked me and calling our pitching rotation the Menards rotation. And the reason why we're calling it the
11% off?
Menards rotation is because the total cost salary wise for this rotation is $13.7 million. Save big money at
On the
Menards.
south side.
And 11% back.
Yeah.
Mail-in
If
rebate.
if you could fit it in a bag, you get 10% off or whatever it is. But
And I think
Think about that.
Fetty makes up like what, half?
almost,
I think
yeah.
I think he's making like 7.5 million, isn't he?
Yep.
Or more
Thinking
than
about
half.
this now. What did Snell just sign for? 2 years.
63.
63?
So he's making
Or is
what?
it 62?
31 and a half a year.
Yeah. And I think he gets an opt-out after the first year.
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, Blake Snell, one guy for the Giants, is making $31.5 million to pitch this year. The entire White Sox rotation combined is making just under $14 million.
I mean, Blake
This is the
Snell
most
obviously got a
Jerry thing that ever Jerryed in the history of Jerry.
I mean, it's Jerry's favorite rotation of all time. Like,
Yes.
this is exactly what he wanted.
Yeah,
Yes.
Zoe, you don't even have to get extreme. And Blake Snell obviously got the short deal, but he's getting he got a big AAV. Jameson Tyone is making more money than an entire White Sox rotation.
Yeah.
I think Tyone's at like what, 16, 14?
We could sit here for a while.
16. I think Tyone's making 16 a year.
Yeah.
This is just, I mean, that
So,
stat
Zoe,
alone.
yeah.
Go
So what
ahead. What's the
was
question?
what was your initial reaction to the? Because to me, I'm like, what? Because I think East put it in the Sox chat, our SM Sox chat.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what the hell? Crochet went from maybe starting in the bullpen to maybe he starts at AAA to he's opening day starter.
Well, I mean, the first thing was Cease getting dealt, but my first reaction was I just laughed. And the reason why I laughed is this is such a microcosm of what this season is going to be for the White Sox. It's going to be a lot of why not? I mean, that, yeah, it's going to be a lot of why not? Lambert's not on the show, fellas. This is a baseball show. You can go troll him under the Facebook post. Caleb Williams, good. There's talking Bears for the day.
Wait, quit. Zoe, I saw your tweet. Are you getting on board?
I'm on
He
board.
said it moved. He said, okay.
I'm on board. I mean, I really don't have a choice.
That's
I said that though
Wait,
from the beginning. I said whoever the quarterback was for the Bears, I was going to root for.
We have no
Zoe,
choice.
you would be surprised.
I got no choice. I'm a Bears fan. I want to root
You
for
would
the
be
Bears.
surprised.
He's gonna be
That's
the
not
Bears
how
had their
some
fucking
fans
new stud wide
are
receiver
reacting.
at the dude's pro day in head to toe Bears gear to dap him up. Like they were showing videos of like the Bears front office shaking homie's dad's hand and shit. Like he's coming to fucking Bears. But anyways, when I heard Garrett Crochet was going to be the opening, he's still listed as a relief pitcher on ESPN, by the way. But as I heard he was the opening day starter, I just kind of chuckled. And it wasn't like a belly laugh. It wasn't like a ho, ho, ho. It was just kind of like shit. Because that's how this whole season's going to go, folks. It's going to be a lot of shit. Like, why not? What's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to lose fucking more than 100 games. Oh no. I mean,
I think that's fair, and it's kind of good that you already know, right? Like it's gonna make it a little easier to go through the year of like you know what it is, and you're gonna fight through it. And
right.
But I mean, Soroka, I'll piggyback on your Soroka. He's got 13 innings this spring with 17 strikeouts. Crochet, he's got 9 innings with 12 strikeouts. Like those are good things. We like that.
There's no showtime. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah. The whips are good too for these guys. Like they're K for 9. I mean,
0.92 for Soroka, and then Crochet's got 0.78. Like, yeah,
they
200
looking,
sub 200 averages against them. Like, come on, like, and I have a question about Crochet because again, like, obviously I'm a Cubs guy, so I'm not super paying attention, but I'm paying attention. Do you think he's gonna be like they're gonna put him as a starter, like 5, 6, 7 innings a game, or is this like just like
that was the plan
already right away?
That was the plan when they drafted him. They wanted, he was a starter at Tennessee.
No,
they wanted him.
Right.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't.
Didn't he?
He was a relief. Zoe, I have this stat. When they announced that he was the opening day starter. This is from Sox Machine Pete from Pino's, Patrick Nolan.
Yeah.
The last time Garrett Crochet threw 4 innings in any game.
Oh, no.
And he says, as best as I can tell. So he was going through the game logs in college, all through the minor leagues. Well, he wasn't really in the minor leagues, Crochet.
Oh no.
Hold on,
Besides rehabbing. The last time he pitched 4 innings in a game was May 11th, 2019.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out me.
No, you're right. So in 2018 and 2019, he was a starter. He started 6 games both of those seasons. And then 2020, the season before he got drafted, he did not start any games, but he only threw 3 innings that whole year in 2020 for Tennessee. So he was a starter at Tennessee.
No, but look at his innings. How many total innings did he have?
Oh, okay. So I get what you're saying. So we're both right. He started, but he didn't. He wasn't like a.
Like he was. It was like how Tommy
It
was
was
saying.
like a.
It was like 3
bullpen.
innings, 2 innings, maybe.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like on opening day, are we going to see 2 innings and then they go ahead and hand it off to the bullpen, or are we going to see what this guy has?
I
To
don't.
piggyback off that, Tom, this just goes to show how much Chris Getz, the coaching staff, just does not believe in Michael Kopech, because they pretty much said, Michael Kopech, you throw way too many fucking pitches. You're going to toast our bullpen like
Yep.
by the end of April because you only can pitch 3 innings because you're at like 80 pitches after 2. We're going to give a guy who hasn't gone 5 innings like since high school probably. We're going to have him as the opening day starter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's coming back from the TJ, and he came back last year a little quick, some people thought, and then he got hurt again, and they're just like, yeah, just shut this shit down. And he worked all off season or whatever. I don't know if he's quote stretched out enough to go more than 3 innings on opening day. It'd be interesting to see. I know he's always talked about since he was drafted how he wanted to be a starter at the major league level. So he might have worked for it. They might have told him going into this spring training, like, yo, like, if you could show us you could be a starter, you could be a starter. So he maybe worked with that in mind this offseason to get to the point. And then he showed up in spring training. He shoved.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, he's top 4 for tied for the 4th most innings this spring.
I mean,
That
I'm
was-
looking at his game log. I know there's still a week of spring training after like 4 games maybe left, 4 or 5 games.
Mhm.
He hasn't pitched more than 3 innings.
No, he's got 9 innings pitched, right?
See, that's why I'm asking. Like,
And
are
like
they going to let him go 3 innings and then they got to go to the bullpen or what? Then they hand
he's
it off to
thrown,
Kopech.
he's thrown 12 pitches, 12 pitches, 13 pitches, 18 pitches, 17 pitches. He's only gonna go 3 innings.
He's going 3.
Like 4. Maybe he gets one more start here.
I think the over and under. I was listening to 670 the score today, and they set the over under at 4.5 for him. And I
think I'd take the
honestly,
under.
I would take the under too, because it seems like they're letting him start, but is he going to be a starting pitcher?
I
right.
wonder what Ohtani's going to take. He'll probably take the under.
Well, the interpreter. Come on, so yeah.
I'm sorry, the interpreter will probably take the under, but
But also, I would like to know what Ohtani thinks.
this is a good strategy from Ian. He only needs 5 pitches an inning, so he should be good. Yeah, just do that
Statistically-
shit. Yeah, just do that.
Statistically, yeah, that's 45 pitches a game. Play ball.
I do have to say though, I don't think he's going to be facing a lot of like AA and AAA hitters.
Well, if he could,
actually,
if he could,
who's
hey,
opening day? Who are they
if,
playing?
well,
opening day?
it's the Tigers.
Detroit.
So if he can get Javi Baez to the plate,
That's at least that's 3
That's
pitches
3
though.
strikeouts.
He'll strike him out, but he needs.
Did you guys see Javi Baez this spring?
Oh, he's
numbers?
terrible.
It's like 0.06.
Do you want to know that? I'll pull up the actual numbers right now.
It's so bad.
That screenshot you said, I think it was like 2 for 36 or 2 for 32, something like that.
And it sucks because like when we were
Yeah,
going,
although Crochet struck out Ohtani, bitch.
That's
It
why
sucks.
I said I want to know what Ohtani thinks. I saw the highlight. Maybe Ohtani took over half strikeout for himself that day.
Baez, they might not even list him because they don't want to list him. He's not even on here.
Oh, maybe he doesn't
That's-
have enough at bats to qualify.
Oh wait, they have 3 pages of players that
Oh,
have hit for them. Here you go. Javi Baez, 14 games, 35 at bats. He has 3 hits, 2
Okay.
RBIs, 1 walk. And all right, let's play a game. Who can tell me how many times he struck out this spring? 35 at bats.
I'm gonna say 20.
You're gonna say 20? Zoe.
17.
17. Zoe wins because it was 13.
Oh,
13
okay. We went high.
strikeouts
We were
this spring.
2 negative. So
But he
he's
did-
making contact.
And how about this? He took a walk. He took 1 walk. Improvement.
I ain't here to walk.
That's rough.
Spring training. I'm here to get swings.
It's just sad because of like how important he was on the north side.
Like,
Especially
he was
that
still
year.
good. He was still good
Yeah.
in 2021.
Yeah, but I mean, we were pissed when all the guys got traded. But how right were they about those trades?
Don't tell Kevin that.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm the biggest Chris Bryant guy there is, but
You're
how
you're
right?
right. You're right. No. Yes. Oh my god. Actually, we should just have a picture of a Shohei, but just everything we say about him is Pete Rose.
This guy looks like, but it's those.
This guy
Well,
looks
yeah,
like
I
he
mean-
was on the Reds in the 1990s.
we going in this offseason because off-season podcasting, we talked ad nauseum about all the different possibilities for the White Sox rotation. With Cease, without Cease, what it would look like. None of us had this. And like
No.
you said, good for Destrini for earning that spot. I mean, this is a massive opportunity for this kid. Be the starter on opening day roster, like this is it for him. Like not it, but like this could make him big. But Fetty as your 3, Flexen from the Mariners. He's not been bad this spring as your 4.
Flexing.
It's going to be interesting, man. This whole season is going to be a wild ride. Oh, we got another super chat here from our guy, Southside Bomb. Sup, gents? I'll watch your show even though you were all against me. Much love.
We
So,
stand Missy. We stand. We stand Missy until the
let's talk
day
about-
we die.
Against you. I was with you until you went up against someone on the payroll. Tell me you would have did it differently, and I'll tell you you're a liar.
Liar.
You know we love you, buddy.
Thanks for the $4.99.
Missy went to the urgent care for this shit. That's dedication.
Let me tell you something about Missy. So
think she
Missy
won
and I.
again. Oh.
No, she did. She did. Don't worry. She
Oh.
did. I didn't have to
She's
do
dropping
anything.
bars. Yeah.
Here's the thing about Missy. Missy and I have bonded together via the internet, and she and I we're aligning. We are aligning. We are moving mountains. We are bringing the north side and the south side together. And she was the one of the 108 tourney that had the balls to go and do something like this, and she allowed me to be part of her army. And I will stand up and be part of that army. And I will just say, for the rounds to come, we may have a couple things in the bag just ready to go. So,
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah,
shout out Missy, vote Missy.
We haven't seen the Missy Mitch duet that we were all hoping for. The remix to last year's singing styles, but I don't even know. Oh God, it's probably not good to admit out loud, but I kind of stopped paying attention to the 108 tournament.
Oh wow.
I'll check in on it every once in a while, but
Oh no! Hey, I tried.
I will say there's been a lot of really, really good content. Mitch is actually covering a drive-by shooting right now, so I'm being serious. So he might be a little
Not
tied
funny.
up tonight, but yeah, I don't know if someone died or whatever. But who we got winning today? What happened today? Brian Knight's won. He always wins. Mrs. Beefloaf won as she should. Baloney won. I think Baloney can win this whole thing. Baloney and the Bombs have putting out A+ videos.
So
A+ videos.
this is my first one. Like I watched it a little bit last year from afar, but this is my first 108 tournament where I actually like am involved and I'm watching all the content and stuff. I like from a Cubs fan standpoint, I'm having such a great time. Like everybody is so creative and doing really fun, cool things, and I'm loving it from a content standpoint as an outsider watching it. I'm envious of the culture and the togetherness that you guys have, like to do something like this on the Sox side of things. So I'm for it. I love it.
Well,
I think it's
I
so
will
much.
say, as someone that's been in it or watching it every year since its creation, arguably this is the best content year ever. The videos have been amazing.
I don't know,
mean,
man. The COVID year was special.
The that's fair.
performance from Summer of George
Let's-
that year.
The COVID year. We had dude shotgunning 4 locals with a samurai sword. Like,
I also think it's because we had nothing else in our
there was
lives.
nothing. You,
Right,
you
yeah,
couldn't
there's
leave your
nothing else
house.
to do.
You
Yeah.
couldn't leave your house.
Like that
Yeah.
was our entertainment for those like couple
So
weeks.
yeah, we had a kind of a tournament at my work of like who could make the best video while they were in quarantine. So I put a bunch of TikToks back to back to back of all the things that were trending. I sang so many Frozen songs that but it was nothing like
Oh,
this.
shit.
Like everybody's doing crazy things.
My girl Alexis won by 0.6%.
Damn.
Oh, Jerry lost. God damn it. I like Jerry. Jerry's a good dude.
Is Ozzie Jr. gonna go to the finals?
He might, dude. And
He's getting all the big hitters.
For what it's worth, I fucking call this on their reveal show because everyone's like, "Oh, I wonder if the Guillen kids will." I'm like, "You don't think the Guillen kids are going to use their dad? They've used their dad their entire life. Why would this change now? Are you fucking stupid? Like, of course they're going to have Freddie Garcia doing videos for them and fucking Ozzie Guillen. Like, if I was them, I'd be doing that shit too.
Oh,
No
1,000%. Yeah.
Basically, you get free cameos.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
it's Ozzie
Missy,
versus Baloney. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go hard for Baloney. That's my guy. I'm gonna have to go hard in the paint for Baloney.
Missy,
tomorrow?
Whatever. Yeah.
Get on that Rosetta Stone and start taking some Spanish lessons because you got to compete with the
Oh yeah, that's true.
the bombs.
Missy, whatever you need.
Oh no.
Whatever you need, Missy, it's done. Whatever you need.
Missy, you
Oh
gotta go.
no, is that
Mailman
true,
Jack.
Drew?
Oh no, Mailman Jack's the homie, dude. I mean, again, we root for the payroll. Go follow Southside behavior.
So this is lucky because I have no idea who Mail Jack is. Mailman Jack.
Probably the nicest human being you'll ever meet in your entire life.
Okay,
like,
well,
you're the nicest guy you know right now. Not even close.
All right, well, I don't want to meet.
Like
I don't want to
compared to
No,
Jack.
I don't want to meet Mailman Jack until after this is done. I stand Missy, and then
I will say this about Jack. I'll tell you the story, Tom, because I don't think you've ever heard. So the first time I met Jack was at 108 Day a couple years ago. I didn't know that Jack was the mailman at my parents' house.
Oh, no.
No, I had no idea. He's the mailman in Beverly. And it's 108 Day, and I'm just standing in front of this table talking to someone else, having a drink, and all of a sudden someone like grabs my elbow, and I turn around. I'm like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "How are things at 10823 California?" I could say the address now because they don't live there anymore. "How are things at 10823 California?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was so scared, dude. I was like, "This dude's gonna like peel my skin off. Like, what is going on right now?"
Oh no.
And then he's like, "No, I'm your parents' mailman," and we talked, and like, when I grow up, I want to be Mailman Jack. He's all swagged out. He wears dope ass kicks. He rocks his little bandana look, but he's got like vintage band tees. He's cool as fuck. When I grow up, I want to be Mailman Jack, and I hope Missy beats him.
Missy, are we screwed?
Mailman Jack is an older gentleman. I think Missy has a pool of people in which will vote for her that Jack does not possess.
Oh no.
Jack's a good dude, but I don't know. Missy should like get all decked out like how Jack does in his gear, like bandana, like some dope kicks and shit, and like do a parody or whatever. Yeah. But we did have a super chat that came and went. Where is it? From our boy Joey P. It says #vote bum. I rock with you, Joey. I'm sorry to go against you against Baloney, but Baloney's the homie lives right down the street from me.
Yeah, Baloney's been good to us in the chat.
Yep. I mean, our kids go to school together. Like that guy. But so wait, the matchup updates have come in. Baloney's versus Maddie. Ooh, that's gonna be a tough one for my boy Baloney. B-Flow versus Ozzie Jr. That's gonna be good.
Ooh, that's gonna be good.
Are you gonna vote for Ozzie Jr.?
No, B-Flow.
Wait. You're telling me you're not a guy who, when you lose in tournament, like you got to root for the person who beat. You want to be bitter.
Well, Chirizi beat me, and B-Flow beat Chirizi.
Have you never gone up against B-Flow before?
I had last year, and he fucking smoked me.
That's what I'm saying. I need a bitter Zoe still.
We both. Well, I told you my story with Guillen's kids, so it's gonna be team whoever's playing them. But yeah, no, me and Beef both won our brackets last year, and then in like the Elite 8, where all the bracket winners came together, I was up against him, and it wasn't even like they should have just called it at like 7 a.m, and we all moved on. I mean, neither of us even like posted anything all day. It was just like a foregone conclusion. It was like, yeah, I'm getting smoked. Let's just.
Well, isn't that how it was today with him and My Sock Summer?
My Sock Summer.
It was like
Went down.
65-35.
They're
went
not
down
doing it next year though, right? They're bowing out.
Supposedly, there's like going to be a new format next year because they were all. I got a couple messages when I announced my retirement, like that was dumb. We're doing something different next year. You're going to want to come back next year. Blah 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 blah. I mean, there's always the comeback with the 4 or 5,
Yeah.
but I think they're going to do shows.
Like after Ohtani comes back from suspension and wears like 71, like you're gonna be just like him, yeah.
I think next year they're going to do a bracket and it's going to be show versus show, like all of us versus like the on tap guys, or all of us versus like Sox on 35th. I think they're going to put shows up against each other.
Okay.
Which, if they do that, we have a complete advantage because we have the Cubs side of the show.
Yeah, and I hope by next year that we have a big Cubs following because peel back the curtain a little bit. Something's in the works, boys. Something's in the works for sports mockery.
Maybe we get Ohtani as our gambling correspondent. That would help.
Ohtani's Gambling Corner brought to you by DraftKings, FanDuel, all of them at once.
Yeah.
Just
Missy, whatever you need tomorrow, just let me know. I'm ready.
Remember when Sam Rossing in the movie Casino gets busted and they tell him he can't do anything, so he hosts that game, like the talk show where he talks about gambling? They should have Ohtani host something like that. This is how my mind works, folks. I mean, this is where I need, brother. This is why I need Fids, because Fids.
What if Ohtani's new interpreter is even worse?
It could be, dude. I mean, this could just be like the top layer.
I'm telling you guys, love Shohei Ohtani, but it would be hilarious if the Dodgers have him and it just all implodes. And still have to pay him the $700 million. That's the important part here. I don't want them to get off the hook from that money, and then like they just signed Juan Soto. It's like, oh, Dodgers,
which
Dodgers
they will.
See,
but that's how it would work.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
That's exactly.
That's why we have to laugh about it right now, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
Aldo, I just feel like the mindset there, like we're screwed either way. So we might as well just enjoy the ride, you know?
That's why we need to try to manifest the like worst possible thing. Somehow
just enjoy the ride. This
gambling thing came out of nowhere. That was like a nice gift from the sky. It's like, oh, what? Ohtani gambling? Well, get him out of here.
Yeah.
But now we need the luxury.
Aldo, like, okay, so this is what, my 4th or 5th time on this show, which, by the way, thanks again for having me. I'm having a great time. Cool. Aldo, this is the happiest I've ever seen you.
I mean,
you ain't lying.
These are the stories. Like
you were having such a good time.
We always get to the point of spring training where it's like, all right, like we kind of know like 95% of the roster. We're getting to the point where like the games, like I think the Cubs game today, like half the starters played.
I watched 2 innings.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like you're not really seeing like the pitching staff. You're not really seeing the starters. I think Shota Imanaga pitched against minor leaguers like back in Sloan Park. That wasn't televised. It's like, all right, I don't kind of losing interest.
It's hard. Like it's hard when you get to this late start of spring training because this is when like if I could, I would go to Sloan and just be in the area because I would want to try to sneak off to those backfields.
Yes, the backfield. Oh, that'd be.
That's where the action is going on. Yeah, that's where I would want to see. But
it's like okay, like we like these guys, they don't want to play anymore. They're probably ready. Yeah.
What are we? Like, 8. Well, today's over, so we're a week away.
Yeah,
we're a week away.
Yep.
Week away from Texas. The Sox are a week away from playing Detroit. Like. I'm so excited for opening day, guys. Like I've been waiting for baseball for so long. And you like
so like we're at that stretch where it's like, all right, let's just get there. And it's like, all right. Like and good thing that the Cubs camp hasn't been that like there hasn't been like any huge like bombs, right? Like there's been like minor injuries, like Jameson Taillon, like him being not ready for opening day, bad, but it's not major. It's not like, oh, Justin Steele.
Yeah.
That.
Correct.
Or Patrick Wisdom has a little back issue, but like he was going to be a bench guy anyway.
Right. Yeah.
We don't have a Say Suzuki oblique thing this year, so it's good. It's quiet on that front. That's good.
Yeah, and knock the shit out of some wood right now because I can't have that right now. Like we're a week away, and we're like 12 days away from Wrigley. Which, by the way, I know this is a lot of the people following the show are Sox fans. Mm-hmm. But if you are a Cubs fan and you're watching the show, I will be at Wrigley starting at 7 a.m. on
Oh,
April
shit.
1st. Which, by the way, April 1st is my first anniversary with my lovely wife. Shout out Anna. She's the best. She let me buy season tickets. We're going to opening day. It's going to be great. But I will be boots on the ground 7 a.m. making content on the Twitters
Nice.
and whatever for Sports Mockery and watching the game. I cannot wait. Opening day is my favorite day of the year. And for it to be on my first anniversary is kind of cool. So
How romantic.
romantic.
Usually I am at this time of the year scrambling to find a home opener ticket.
Oh, there's plenty.
Go look it up. I can moonwalk into the 100 level. for
Wait,
like
you know
20
what?
bucks.
Is it a day game?
Yeah, it's always at 310.
So I will come down and vibe with you on opening day.
Ooh.
The Bums are having a huge tailgate too, man.
Oh man.
It's
Missy,
worth
are
you
you
coming
going to
down.
opening day? That would be
Of
fun.
course, she's the self-proclaimed queen of Lot B, as you are the king of Ringley.
Oh my God, we were a match made in heaven.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs game is the night game, and I'm gonna go watch with our CHGO friends at Country Club on opening day for the Cubs. But I'll come down and vibe with the Sox for opening day.
It's worth it, man. The Bums know how to throw a fucking tailgate, dude. There's gonna be good ass food, tons of booze, and you could actually meet probably 90% of the people that you've.
No,
seen
that'd
in
be
the
great.
tournament
Like I know that there's Cubs and Sox hatred. You will not find that here. Like I love Chicago, so I will vibe with Sox fans. There's 7 days. There's 7 days a year I don't want to root for the Sox, you know?
And you're gonna find when you go that no one's gonna give you shit. Like someone might bust your balls a little bit, but no one's gonna like.
I'll wear a Sox hat. Like I'm not scared of that. Like I'm a Chicago guy. I'll vibe with the boys.
I'll tell you right now, I ain't wearing no fucking Cubs hat. But
it's fine.
I mean, like Fids came down.
Tell you what, let's make this a thing. If Missy wins the 108 tournament, you will see me in a Sox jersey, a Sox hat, a Sox everything. But Missy has to win the tournament, and I will show up on opening day, all soxed out, ready to go.
Vote for Missy.
There it is.
There you go.
But yeah, no, the tailgate's worth it. My man Dougie and Headbum in charge are magicians with the food, and then usually Baloney and Joey P and Johnny are holding down the cocktail table. It's not like they just don't like pop up like a trash can and put a keg in there and call it a day. Like they have like a full bar set up to like a folding table with nice. I mean, they got their own bourbon label. So
you guys are gonna make sure that I'm asleep for Cubs opening day,
bro. I mean, you're a grown man. You pace your own self, but I can tell you, if you were looking for that kind of trouble, you can find it. That's for damn sure.
That sounds fun. I would love to come hang out with you guys.
That's for damn sure. Oh, drive by Mitch.
Oh, let's go,
gentlemen. How we doing?
Give us the lowdown. What the hell happened out there?
Kick rocks, Mitch.
All right, maybe now that I'm kicking around, it was actually a pretty wild scene here. Since we've also we've had this is like our third shooting that we've had in Columbia in as many days. So they're taking suns out, guns out, way too literally down in Columbia. But when I get to this scene, and there's like 12 different police cars there. And so all the neighbors I'm talking to, like, yeah, it sounded like a drive-by. Like we heard all these pops and then like a car screech out. So we're like, oh, it must be a drive-by. Well, then the police PIO, who they're paid to like not give us any information. Their job is to cover the police's like ass. So like, you don't get much out of them. But she was saying like, yeah, no one was hurt related to the shooting, but a woman was injured. And I'm like, that's kind of odd. Can you elaborate? Of course you can't elaborate. So I'm going to talk to some other neighbors. And these two other neighbors are like, oh, no, that woman was involved in the incident. So I guess what happened was like they said like after that, they heard the pops. They come running outside. The car that was screeching was allegedly just trying to like haul ass out of there, like not be in the shooting. But I guess there's these two women that were like arguing with each other. And they come outside and the one woman's like yelling at the other one and then yelling at this other dude who they think was the shooter. Like, you got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. You got to get out of here. So he hops in a car with this other woman. They peel out. Then this like mass of like 10 people come outside and the two women get into a fist fight. So then it turns into a melee between the two sides because there's like 10 to 12 of them out there just arguing.
Good use of the word melee.
Huh?
It's like good use of the word melee. That was fantastic. Proceed.
So as they're in the middle of their scrap, like someone called in, hey, I heard gunshots. So the police arrive and everyone's scattered. So they said when everyone's scattered, that's when the woman was there because she was in the fight. And so she got hurt from like the fight or whatever. So then it was funny too. Now that we had all this info, the police are still digging around, looking for shell casings, whatnot, doing all their stuff. As soon as the police leave. So the woman also, I see this woman because they pointed out, they described to me what the car looked like of the woman who left with the alleged shooter. She comes back, sees the cops there, but she comes back without the dude. So she just parks and like runs inside to her house. After the police collect all their statements and leave, our camera guy notices the group of people start coming back outside again, and then another argument starts between them. So it's like a wild
this guy
thing.
there?
But,
It sounds like this guy was there.
It looks like one of the people I talked to.
I knew it.
He was not part of the melee though, so. But yeah, it was a wild day down here in Columbia. And then our other reporters on another shooting that was like deadly across the street. So there's 2 shootings today, 4 in 3 days. Yeah, so there you go.
What's going on down there? Jeez Louise.
I don't know.
Yeah, shootings over some bets.
Yeah,
So
probably.
Yeah, basically all we covered tonight so far was Ohtani and his translator betting, and all those rooting for the downfall of Ohtani and the Dodgers.
And if Shohei Ohtani happens to be banned from MLB, like, what a shame.
Yeah.
That would be. That would be a shame.
And then we briefly touched on.
It would be kind of funny though. Like,
it would. I mean, come on, guys.
Verlander's reaction would be hilarious. Like, I would play. And I love watching Shohei, but I think the Verlander. I didn't even get it from that angle, but like seeing Ben Verlander have to cope with that, I think that would also make it worth it. Oh, it totally makes it. Because, like, let's be honest, like, I didn't get the chance to watch him that much anyway because he's playing all these West Coast games, and he's still going to be playing these West Coast games. So, like, right now they're playing so far west. It's out east. They're in Seoul. Who watched that game? It's the greatest player to ever live, and no one's awake to watch him half the time. It's a damn shame. It's criminal what these ain't.
But we did actually talk some actual baseball. We talked about the White Sox $13 million starting rotation, which I have now dubbed the Menards rotation.
Say big money.
Say big money. Yes, the Menards rotation.
Who do you have getting the last 2 spots? So I'm assuming it's probably
no, it's already done, dude. It's set.
Oh, okay. So it's Nastrini. Did Nastrini get it?
It's Crochet, Soroka, Fetty, Flexen, Nastrini.
Okay. That's what we had earlier. Yeah,
that's what Van Schwing.
Daryl Van Schwing.
Because initially this afternoon he had just had who's going to be the 2-3 guys. So I'm like, I wonder. Yeah. Because it was looking like Nastrini. What are the Sox doing with the Crochet opening day? Is he actually going to be stretched out, or is it like a 3-inning thing, 4 innings? I don't think he's going to be an opener like people think. I think they have a pitch limit for him and be like, just go as long as you can. Let's see if he can be efficient. If he only lasts 3 innings, he only lasts 3 innings. But like, honestly, I kind of like the decision. It's a little unconventional, and I get where it'd be a head scratcher because you don't have like a bullpen day, opening day. But number one, that's a great way to set the tone against the division rival. It's going to be a cold March afternoon. You got this guy that can throw 100-mile-an-hour gas at you. I don't want to stand in the box after that. He earned it with his spring training performance. If we're being honest, he's always shown he had good stuff, and he's the longest tenured guy in the rotation. So, or on the team, I guess, not the rotation. He's making his first career start, but longest tenured guy on the team. Low bar to climb, but I get why they did it, and I'm all for it.
I don't know. I don't know. Hold on, real quick. I don't know if he's 100% official. I think he was just talking about how much it would cost if he was the 5th starter.
Yeah, that's what I saw too. The only ones that are confirmed were Crochet, and then it's going to be Soroka 2, Fetty 3, which I think they got.
Nastrini made it past the final cuts.
Yes. So Nastrini will presumably be one of the 4 or 5, and then it'll probably be Flexen as the 5th.
Yeah.
I think.
So Ian, I don't want to feed you bad information.
Yeah, because technically Tukey and Chad Kuhl are still in the running, which we both know they're not going to get it. But
no.
Mitch, quick question for you for Crochet's opening day start. Over under 4.5 innings pitched.
Yeah, and keep in mind Ohtani's interpreter is watching.
Man. He's been really efficient this spring. He's been talking about like being efficient, and like it's shown this spring. I think it's gonna be the under. I think he goes 4. I think
Okay.
he gives them 4 innings.
My
Maybe 2
second
runs.
question is, so they're going to be facing the Detroit Tigers on opening day. Can you tell me how many times Javi Baez has struck out this spring?
Ooh.
He had.
Can I have how
he
many
had.
bats he has?
Yeah, I think he had like
35.
35.
24. He's struck out 24 of those 35.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Only 13, and he walked once. So
Oh, hey, you know what? Better than I thought. Okay, good for Javi.
improvements.
That number was a bit high, if I'm being.
We had just discussed it earlier. I was just wondering.
Strikeout rate. Come on, Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen him hitting lately?
It's not great. It's not great.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh, it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna still kill the Sox, but he's
One of those rare instances where the player's like, "Yes, I am opting into this deal. This is
yeah.
Mitch, I'm super glad that you're on because I don't know if it's time for this yet, but when the time comes, I cannot wait to say NASCAR words to you for this week.
I am very excited. I got like 20 minutes before, so I have to leave around like 9:50. So I think around like the 9:40ish.
So before we all go into our happy place while you two talk NASCAR, as a fan, Mitch, what are your expectations going into the season? Like, how are you? What's your mindset as a fan going into this season? Not what your predictions are, but what you're going into thinking.
I am preparing for a 2018-esque team where I know they will be bad, but I think they will be fun bad. So I'm gonna be optimistic coming into it, knowing like, look, this team's gonna stink. Let's not get too upset when they're losing a bunch of games. But let's enjoy some of the positives from it because we know this is more of a bridge team. They got some young guys here, so let's. I hate to use Steve Stone's phrase, but I'm just gonna enjoy the ride. I'm not getting worked up like I have the last couple of years. I already know they're gonna be bad, so I'm just gonna try and take as many positives away from the season as I can. It's kind of how I'm approaching it.
I think that's fair. I think I'm actually looking forward to this season. I feel like it's gonna be. Last year was unwatchable baseball. Last year was, as I said before, was stupid errors, not hitting the cutoff man, throwing to the wrong base, at bats that look like they would literally want to be anywhere else in the world, but at the plate at that moment. I think this year, in the theme of Luis Robert and a bunch of guys, those guys are here because they're pretty good at defense, and it's going to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing for baseball people that like myself that like to watch all the games, and little things like that drive you fucking crazy. And then I also think I'm encouraged by Eloy and Yohan's play so far in spring training. No,
that's the other thing I'm going to be watching for is like which guys are we building with moving forward? Does Kopech look better in the bullpen? I'll be interested to see that. Can Crochet stick as a long-term starter? How does Eater do and Nastrini do when they get called up? So there's a lot of guys that I'm intrigued to see how they play.
Yeah, this season's going to be a lot of, like I said, smiling and laughing and saying, well, why not? And then seeing if it works. Throwing shit against the wall and sees what sticks. Because this is your first year one again of a new rebuild. You kind of.
Which, let's be honest, I would rather be don't get twisted. I'd rather be heading into the season with expectations, but because there are no expectations this year, I think it'll make it slightly more enjoyable to watch. Because even back from 2020, it's like we're coming in with the mindset this team should be winning the divisions. The losses are that much more frustrating when they don't play well.
Right, and then I guess on the other side of town, though. Tom, what kind of expectations do you have for your team?
Yeah, look, I mean, last year the Cubs were actually surprisingly really close to making a playoff run. They were 2 weeks, 3 weeks shy of shocking everybody and taking that seventh wild card or the last wild card spot. And the team that actually took that last wild card spot was the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they made it to the World Series. The way that the playoffs work now, it's it's anybody's game, and you got to be hot. When you're hot, you're
All right,
good.
1 second, gentlemen.
Yep.
I gotta grab my equipment. There was a shots fired call on Rice Road. I gotta go check it out. But maybe we'll keep the
All
live
right.
stream going. You can see it in action.
You're too quick with that shit, although.
That was incredible. Oh, and we get to keep the camera on. That's great.
Oh yeah, he does this.
Are we going to be the first podcast? Or maybe not that streamers are getting crazy these days, but are we about to get shooting live on?
I don't know, man. I don't know, brother. Anyways,
Mitch,
Cubs.
put on the vest.
So, the thing is, like, I want to make the playoffs this year. I think that they can. Bringing Cody back on a deal that he can opt out and go make more money. That makes me feel like he's going to be motivated to do what he did last year. I love the way that Nico may be approaching the season where he might not be the leadoff guy, because I don't think he's a leadoff hitter. He looks for contact too much to be a leadoff guy, where Ian Happ, if he were to be a leadoff, he'll take his walks. He'll get his on-base percentage up if he knows that that's his job to do. But the real difference maker for me this year is going to be Seiya if he gets to be the second batter in the lineup. He has shown the last 2 or 3 weeks that he is made to be number 2 in the lineup, where he can go find the grass. He can go get a guy in if he's already on base. He can be the guy that scores with the guys that are behind him. So this team, although looks for the most part the same, is actually a lot better than they were last year. And they were so close to making the playoffs. So yeah, I expect the Cubs to make the playoffs. And quite honestly, I expect them to win the division. This division is down. The Brewers stink. The Pirates and Reds are young, but they're not quite there. And the Cardinals just have a bunch of veterans that if they flame out, they're going to be dead in the water. So this division the Cubs should be the overwhelming favorite to win the division, but they're not, because they don't have a definitive starting rotation yet. If they were to go, which by the way, this may be a spoiler, and I feel better about this now than I did last week even. Let's say the season, I think Jordan Montgomery will sign after the season starts, and I am more in on the Cubs doing that kind of move after the season starts than I was like a week ago. And I think that's when a move is going to be made. If the Cubs were to go get a Jordan Montgomery, that would put them as the overwhelming favorite to be the winner of the NL Central. So they should make the playoffs. I don't know if a World Series is in the future, but anything could happen at any time. But if the Cubs play the season the way that I expect them to, they will make the playoffs.
Are you all at all concerned about their bullpen? Because I think if like that's going to be a big pickup for them going deep.
This is happening.
I feel actually what's wild. There are two things wild here. One, that you're asking me about the Cubs bullpen when you're on your way to a shots fired call. And the second thing is I am less.
Mitch is dialed in.
He's dialed in. Let it go. Just go with it. Go with it. Go with it.
I am actually less worried about the bullpen than I am the starting rotation, quite honestly, because I feel like there's depth in the bullpen, and I feel like there are guys in the minor league that we could go get. But the starting rotation scares me a lot more than the bullpen, and I am just fascinated by this point of view.
Show me another show that does this.
Ratings?
I mean, who cares about the Cubs bullpen at this point? I want to know where you're headed, who shot who, what the hell is this?
So
what the hell is happening?
We heard on the scanner, shots fired at Rice Road. So I'm hauling ass over to where Rice Road is. That's the best part about this job. Like, we'll listen to the scanner where police are, and then they send us like literally like right into the fire. So like, I can end up getting there before the cops.
Do you have like a Dwight Schrute like thing that you could put on your roof, like a siren or something? Because that would be fun.
I wish. So our weather car is pretty sick because it has like our Storm Tracker car has like the little camera on top, so you get like a 360 camera you can run, which lights up. But unfortunately, I don't have like a little siren. I could use
all super chats for the next 2 weeks go to buying Mitch a vest.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, seriously, it's a war zone down here. People think
This is
Chicago's
awesome. This is some wild ass shit, man. You're literally driving. If you're just joining us now, Mitch is PWD right now, podcasting while driving, and he's driving to a shots fired call on the police. What the fuck?
After just reporting on a
this is my life.
I was
this
at the
is my life.
and now I'm driving to a shots fired call. So.
Mitch, since
Can I
you've been
just
in
say that-
Missouri, did you ever get on the scanner? Did you ever get that Chief super fan, Robin Banks? Did you ever get a call? It's like, up, he's at it
No,
again.
I wasn't down here in time, but it was like funny because like when I first started this job, my first week here, it was actually this time last year. I think it's my 1 year anniversary this week here. But anyway,
Congratulations.
there's 2 shootings within my first 2 days. I'm like, what the fuck's going on in this city? But I guess they're like, yeah, we get a bunch of those. What the fuck is the fuck?
I think we got a picture of the suspect.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude, the one
dude.
that makes it wild things. Hence
Oh
like that.
man. Can I just say that from this angle, your hair looks fantastic.
I appreciate it. It looked like shit earlier. The wind was blowing. It was a disaster. It's the first time I've ever worn a hat on the air for the 6 o'clock show. Because the 5 o'clock show, ooh, here we go. Let's see. Is this it?
Do you swear on the air when you're like this?
No way. You can't do that. He's a pro, man. This is
I
big
said
J stuff.
the best I've done was like standing outside in this hellish winter escape or something like that when they had me outside. It was the day before the Chiefs playoff game, and they had us. They were talking. It was funny because they had the weather guy talking about how dangerous the conditions were outside, and then they pitched to me standing outside like a jackass talking about how cold it is. So it was not fun. It was like -13. So that was the closest I've gotten to swearing on the air. It's like called it a winter hellscape. But other than that, I keep
Beware
it
of this guy, and beware of this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and
Especially this guy.
especially that. If this guy offers you a cigarette, do not take it.
I'm
It's
so
got-
lucky
It's got
that
rat poison on it.
I've only been with Sports Mockery for like a month, so there's no bad pictures of me yet that have made the podcast. So that's
It-
good.
If we really tried, we can get you.
Oh, there's plenty out there for you.
Yeah.
Gotta share
Yeah,
a car.
I don't
Throw the
even
bumper.
fucking know where to go with this because
Well, we were talking about projections. I would love to hear what Aldo thinks about the Chicago
go ahead.
Cubs.
Do your
Not only they
projection.
can top the
When you hear
Missouri
a-
crime scene, but
When you hear a pop, just know that's when you're supposed to pause.
But yeah, just how Tom was saying, like the minimum expectation should be the Cubs they have to win the division. The division is weak. It's weak to like really bad. The Reds, I think the Reds are going to be decent. Their pitching should be better, but they have a lot of shit going on there too. They just traded for another infielder. They had that one rookie prospect suspended. Ellie De La Cruz keeps. That dude seems like he's like heading towards bust territory. I don't know. The Reds are going to be good, but I think that they're going to have some rough stretches. The Pirates, I think the Pirates are going to be the sleeper team in the NL Central. They have a good combination of like veteran guys in their pitching staff that could like carry them for a bit. And they have a good group of young position players as well. Keep Ryan Hayes, O'Neal Cruz can be stars for them. But there's no doubt for me. The Cubs, they're the clear favorites in the division. They should win. That's the bare minimum, and that's we talk about the playoffs every year for Major League Baseball. It's a crapshoot. You just want to get in, and then you have a shot. And for me, that's it. They have to win the division. If they don't, if they didn't make enough moves, if it's the starting rotation, it's like, well, you could have had Blake Snell for a 2-year deal.
Hang on.
Oh,
there's
never-
lights.
We have to cut to Mitch.
All right, pretty active scene. I'll show you what I'm seeing here, and then you can tune in to ABC 17 News at 10 to get the full scoop.
But
'cause I got
No, we can't. No, we can't.
Just leave it there. Just leave
we
it there,
can't. We can't.
Turn it around, Mitch. Just leave it.
I'm in my contract negotiation week right now.
We can't. We can't.
Let the
We
man
can't
leave.
just- We
He's
can't
trying to
just
get the
watch.
money.
We just can't watch the middle of bumfuck Missouri news. Like
He's trying to get that money,
You
man.
can stream it online, ABC17news.com.
AB7
Yeah, just leave it like that,
Yeah.
Mitch. Just leave it like
Just kill it, Mitch. You're trying to get that money.
All right, I'll see you boys. I'll
Just
hop
kidding.
back on if there's any good updates while the show's still
All
going.
right, please do.
thank God. Thank God. Wow, that was awesome. Shout out Mitch, man. In the line of fire.
that. Was
This is
incredible.
That was amazing. This is
Dude,
fucking
that was
amazing.
like we were like watching Cops. That was
That, like, all right. So obviously, I've been on the show 5 or 6 times now, and I've watched it before. That might have been the best. That might have been the best this show has gotten right there.
That was a serious moment. Right?
That was a hell of a moment.
For the audio listeners on whatever podcast app you're using, this is why you got to tune in live every Wednesday night, or check
just
us out
watch us
afterwards on YouTube.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube. Like, subscribe.
I feel like I need a cigarette. That was crazy.
What's gonna happen? I was gonna say I think Key Brian Hayes is the most underrated player in baseball.
He's the guy who
He's good.
dethroned Arenado and winning all those Gold Gloves at third base.
Yeah, I mean he's just
Joey P said, "This is where I'm getting my news now."
But the Cubs should be. They should win the division. If they don't, it's a failure on the roster. I do think they have a good group, but then you can also blame the front office because if it's rotation problems, they had every opportunity in free agency to lock up a couple guys. And I agree with you. I've been on the Jordan Montgomery to the Cubs thing since like December.
It's gonna be after the season starts.
What do you mean bad news?
They reported right before we went on that he came back to the table. He's talking to Texas. They're going to work it out.
That makes sense.
They said there's a gap, but they're working to quickly close it.
So that makes sense.
Shit.
But also, I don't know if you guys knew this, but so Jordan Montgomery's wife works in Boston. I don't know. Like, I think she works at a Boston hospital, but Jordan Montgomery was in Boston all offseason, and the Red Sox did absolutely nothing. They had one Zoom call with him. Like,
Wait,
that is insane. That's insane to me that he was right there in Boston, and all they did was Zoom call him once.
Trust me, White Sox fans know how important wives can be in what's the word I'm looking for?
Contract
what do you
negotiations?
do? Yeah, when you're trying to get a free agent, courting a free agent?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if she works in Boston, he could have.
That should have been a slam dunk because the White Sox lost Zach Wheeler because his wife wanted to live in Philadelphia. Yeah, Zach Wheeler was ready to sign with the White Sox.
They could have gotten him at a discount in Boston, and then they signed Lucas Giolito, and we saw what happened. Which I'm very sad for Lucas Giolito. I really wanted him to have a big year, but man, Boston dropped the ball so big this offseason. Like, at the beginning of the offseason, the owner was like, we're going to go full throttle. And then they did like close to nothing in a division that like Baltimore is crazy good right now and young. The Yankees went and got Juan Soto. The Rays are still the Rays, and Toronto is cute. Like, they got to do something.
That was adorable. And Toronto's cute. That was. I think that's the most accurate.
I think that's a pretty fair one. Well,
that's the most accurate representation of the Toronto Blue Jays I think I've heard in the past 3 years.
Cute. Next week, I like that they went to the old logo.
Yeah.
By the way, it is. Apparently, it's the Yankees who have been talking to Montgomery now.
Yeah. So.
There we go.
Next week we're gonna do our fantasy draft like we do every year, but this year is a little different because we got co-managers and all kinds of fun stuff. We will tweet out the link. I know we said we were going to do it during the show, but we'll tweet it out tomorrow at some point. Someone will. And then also next week, we're going to do our full predictions show as well. Those never come back to bite us in the ass. And
Missy tweeted out the screenshot of us talking and just Mitch driving onto the scene.
Yep.
See, that's why she should win the tournament.
It's incredible.
I don't know. You guys got anything else? I know we're right at an hour and a half right now. So,
I know that it's a full house next week, but I am part of the fantasy league, so I'll be around to draft and stuff.
For sure. We might just, depending on who joins the league, we might just have guest cameos while we draft. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, so it should be, we're going to have, our podcast is going to have 2 teams, so we should have 10 teams available for the fans.
Mm-hmm. Me and
wait, I have my own team. Can I have a co-manager?
Of course you can.
Missy. I would like Missy as my co-manager.
The Cubs, Sox, Legions. You guys should make that your little profile picture with the
no, the picture is picture is going to be like the red bandana and the blue bandana and like the shaking hands. Yeah.
Missy. Me and Mitch got a team. Me and Mitch have a team, and Aldo and Fitz are taking one.
There you go. So we'll have 9 teams for the fans.
All right. Missy, we'll talk about it.
All right. Well, thanks again for filling in, Tom. Aldo, as always, I'm Zoe. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you keep an eye out for the link for the fantasy draft. And also remember in the 108 tournament, vote for Missy Carroll. We'll see you guys next week.